round and round. Hi, welcome to my tube. I'm Marge, Hilka. I'm empath. I like just having these little talks on the way I feel about things, and I'm kind of foggy today. I do that when there's a spike in my energy field sometimes, and it happened late. So, I don't like fireworks either. I'm a sensitive. I'm a too much. I'm a too sensitive. I feel too much. I think too much. So, my lesson in life right now is to be in the present moment. I think a lot of people, that's their lesson is. Well, I can only speak for myself and people of like astrological alignments. I have a lot of Cancer, Capricorn. I'm just kind of whatever, dude. Whatever, man. Whatever. I don't really have the energy to argue with anyone. And these are just my opinions based on my frame of reference, and I look at all emotions just like beauty. It's in the eye, like offense, it's in the eye of the beholder. Beauty, it's in the eye of the beholder. Anger, it's in the eye of the beholder. And I don't choose those things. Sometimes I do. I get offended by people, sure. But that's what they want. So when I don't do my daily disciplines, I can buy into the bullshit and get offended and stand up in my righteous beliefs on my soapbox and wave my arms and listen to me. Don't you know who I am? That's all my ego stuff. That's why I talk this stuff out, because I know I have these character defects in myself. And I'm going to admit them before I let anybody else, say what I am. I'll be damned if I let anybody else put the words in their mouth of who I am as a human being. I don't care if they've seen all over 1,000 videos I've done in the last 3 years, I don't care if because I've walked this path. It's been me and Mom. I don't remember anybody else besides me that whole time, besides my higher spirit, my source, my good orderly direction, and those are the only ones that get to speak on me and my behavior. So, and I really don't mind the scrutiny. I really don't mind. I mean, it's just, what's funny is you have people that think that they're being insulting. They think they're being insulting, and it's just, I'm like, okay, tell me all about me. If you're gonna tell me about me in my comments on my page, please at least say something that is above like a 7th or 8th grade mentality. And if you want to use words like dyke, or that I live with in my mom's basement and that stuff, that's okay too, because I do live with my mom. I live with my mom, and my mom and I have always lived together. Well, no, there's several years in between when I was in the Air Force, like 15, but she got into a bad loan. Somebody manipulated her, and well, her income was only like less than $1,000 a month, and her mortgage was $800. So she wasn't eating and stuff like that. So we made arrangements for her to come out and live with me, and I was only like 36. So I bought a house to put my mom in a room, with her own floor in the basement. So I don't live in the basement. She lived in the basement, but now we're done with basements. We're just gonna live in a little 2-room cabin with a wood stove. We don't need that much space. See, I tried to make a family and a community. I've been looking for my same freak tribe my whole life, and I just can't. I can't find this. It hasn't been time, and now I think it's about to be time. So I like to go down ant holes, because rabbit holes is just a hole, and sometimes rabbits are fucking lazy and they'll just put their babies on tall grass, and sometimes the drunk neighbor, the alcoholic neighbor, doesn't mow his lawn, and then the grass gets really tall, and then he comes out and mows it, and then mows over the baby rabbits. So I like ant holes. Yeah. Anyway, went down one. Synchronicities, everything falls into our alignment, into our life. Every person comes along that we're supposed to meet, whether it is set up or not. See, because sometimes they're set up and sometimes they're not. I don't really care to freaking waste my energy of trying to decipher which is which. I just look at everything as divine time. It's all synchronicity. Whatever is supposed to be for me will be for me. Whatever is not for me, which seems to be the whole fucking planet these days, won't be for me. That's cool. I'm virtuous enough to still have patience. So I was thinking about alignments, and I think I talk about alignment a lot, about how people are in alignment with like their date of birth and their astrology and their placements and things like that. And then I really believe in congruence and latitude and longitude. And I was watching that show on Netflix. It's a cute little. I don't want to be condescending. When I say little, it's not small in stature. It doesn't seem like it's like a big production, but it has a powerful message. Half of it, I can't watch shows like it because there's too many distractions, so I can't like it's hard for me to sit and watch a show that's like an hour and a half or something like that. So I got to break it up in increments. And so last night I watched the last 15-20 minutes of it, and it's just a good show, you know? And then I'm like, God damn, who's that? Who's Esther? So I went down that little ant hole. Esther is an actress. She's 24 years old. I'm like, she is freaking gorgeous. And I am a freaking sucker for a pretty face. It gets me in trouble. It does. I don't go against my better believing because I'm like, but she's so pretty. I don't care. I won't care. I don't care. I'm a fool. Anyway, she's 24 and I'm like 46, and that is she is someone else's wife. That is I know other people are cool with that stuff like that, but that's not an age gap even. That is a frequency gap. That is, or a frequency thing. And when people are identifying with that different broadest spectrums of frequency, that there's a lot missing in between. You know, and I'm sure I've done that storyline in my incarnations too. But you know, and if there's that one dude, he was born on my birthday. He just got married. God, poor God bless these young girls, like 26 or she's like 40 something years younger than him. Dennis Quaid, Snoop, baby bride. It's fucking disgusting, man. It's like, where are her parents? But they don't care because he's loaded and it's Dennis Quaid, so they'll be set up forever, you know, kind of thing. I think is probably because, dude, if I had a kid that and some pervy fucking old pervy actor came around, I'd be like, no, get the fuck out of here, you creep. I don't care who you are. That's why I don't care about who people are. That's why I don't affiliate myself with any organization, any religion, any politic. It's all made up reindeer games, and I'm not co-signing that shit. I don't endorse that shit. I endorse people's heart spaces and their projects and good food. Like people, like I go get, you know, and the service is good. Like, you know, I give credit where it's due. I'm not fucking. I won't take money because money's fake to tell people where to go when it's shit. And too much of the world is, and that's why people have been flying all over the world, blowing their money on shit. And this is the world we get. So I believe that people are congruent on their latitude and longitude. So I looked up Alexis, and she falls into my plus or minus 2 rule. She was born in New Hampshire, someplace, and I looked up, and so that it was like 42 degrees latitude, and my homeland is 40 degrees latitude, Redding, California. That 40th parallel, man. There's a lot to that 40th parallel. And then she's related to Hollywood. Any star that's from Hollywood or has been anybody that's been in LA, we got the same vibe, our same freak, because I was born in San Bernardino, and that's 34.15 latitude, and LA's 34. And I look at actors; they're just full spectrum human beings. They just tap every actor. They just get to experience like their past lives and put them on screens, like those personas. They set themselves up where they can live these different personas. Other people do that on the street and put themselves in, you know, paradigms like education, you know, all these made up paradigms, city governments, all that stuff. They do that the same way. They set themselves up the same way to pull the strings the same way. Anyway, I'm getting off my topic. So that was kind of cool that we're, you know, we have that, because she got my attention. Like, she's a beautiful girl. She's whoever gets to hang out with her. And I saw some of some of her like interviews, the dockets, the press docket stuff they did for her. And she's you know. And then it's like, and that's funny, because like, I know how people have types. They get a type of a person that they like, and I like brunettes. But I've dated a blonde. I haven't been in a lot of relationships. I'm just not. They're not. There's other stuff I'd rather do. They're too heady. People like to play games. It's not fun. And then they put in rules, and then I'm like, okay, now can I do it? No, okay, all this shit. I just kind of over all of it. You know, people want to have open communications at any given time. You know, I don't do good with like when people put me in boxes. Like, I respect boundaries, but when people just start throwing them out there because they fucking feel like it, because they're control freaks, then that's just like, you know what? There's too many rules I got to keep track of to know you. So I'm just going to appreciate our time together. We just don't got to know each other no more. It's just oh so too much for me. I'm getting oh so too old for this shit. So another peculiar ant hole I went down last night, I was like, Mom, this is a trip. There's a movie I watched when I was a little girl. I recommend everybody watch it. You know, I had a lot of early programming. I mean, I remember laying on my stomach when I was like a baby, 2 years old, watching this movie on TV, and because it scared me. Because there's a character in it called the Kid Catcher. The movie's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and there's a character called the Kid Catcher. That dude freaked me out. The whole vibration, like, it would shake me. Like he would come on the screen, and I would have a physical reaction. Well, I had met a kid catcher in real life when I was 10 months old. And so I know that vibrational frequency. And that's what tripped me out, is when people act like that. Sometimes actors aren't good actors because they're just playing roles that are just themselves. They're just characters. Like the character role, like the Hyde. Yeah, Hyde. You know? Isn't that kind of synchronistic? Hyde? Hyde. That 70s show, Hyde. You know, he always played a role that was just like himself, and he's always just kind of a dirtbag scumbag, and lo and behold, got arrested a few weeks back for being, you know, showing his true vibrational frequency, because 2020 is the year of clear vision, yeah. Anyway, so I looked up the actor that played the Kid Catcher in that movie. The actor is, he was actually a ballet dancer. Yeah. He played the. You can go down it yourself, but the child character is employed by Baron Baumhurst and the Baroness Baumhurst to snatch and imprison children in the streets of Bulgaria. Okay? Now, you can go down that one yourself. But look at this. This is in some of his dancing days. This is a picture of him in his dancing day. That's the Kid Catcher. Okay? It's art. Whatever. It's your interpretation. Robert Helpman. Just a little tiny guy. Just a little dude. You know, just trying to get through in life. He was a sir, so I guess he did pretty good with himself. Then I look at his Wikipedia page, and oh, holy shit, look at that. I was born on the day he was born. Only he was born on that day before me. The 9th of April, which is the 99th day of the year. Only he was born in 1909. He's got a lot of nines. That'd be the 4999. 1990. That's a cool day to be born. Anyway, and I thought that was cool, you know, because same frequency, people that you vibe with, you know. And then he kind of fits in the plus or minus 2, because he was born in South Australia, Austria, Mount Gambier. And that one's loose. That one's a stretch because that latitude's like 36, 37. So he would have to come down -2 and I'd have to go up +2. That's a stretch. So we're not going to leave that one alone. But just the fact that we were born on the same day, you know, and how that, it's just like, we get attracted to people because of the energy, because like attracts like. But sometimes people get attracted to people because of the shadow parts in them. Is that they know that they have them in them, but the person that they're dealing with, they lives them. They act them out, and they think it's fun and it's exciting. But when they start, but then once they realize they're starting to live in the shadow aspects, is, you know, dipping on the dirty side a little bit, that it's kind of fun. And then they it's a slippery slope, and then they get out of hand. Because they don't have control. People don't know how to control themselves. Where is the emotional control? Where is the pause? Where is all this stuff that all of these spiritual practitioners have, you know, all these religious beings, all this stuff that people have been telling people to do? Okay, eat right, get healthy, you know, go out and get some sun, laugh, you know, do fun things, dance, exercise, you know, all this stuff that, you know, this the little groups of people have been telling people, you know, get ready to go up to the next level. And then I see people emerge, and then just people are getting more and more mad. They're getting more and more mad. And then when I'm not in the present moment, I can get wrapped up in their vibe of just getting mad about stuff. You know, I don't care if people think I'm a shut-in. What is out there? I don't got no friends. I keep trying to make friends. I don't got no friends. People would rather fucking hang out with assholes than me. Or I guess bigger assholes than me. I don't know. What do you do? You know? What do you do? I don't like a lot of, I don't have the same vibe as a lot of people. So when I give people attention, I don't look at that as like, you know, chump change kind of thing. And people like to tease, you know, the people of the low vibrational vibrations. That's how I know. People like to tease. It's like you engage with the human being. You make a connection with the human being. And if, hey, they like what you're about, they're going to hit you back. Or at least acknowledge your existence. At least acknowledge you. Whenever you need to be acknowledged. Not this time and that time and I just don't, and all that stuff. Nah, I'm not into any of that. I don't do good with directions because I'm always about stretching and loosening the definition of the control freaks' rules. It was weird how California had a very different experience about their Independence Day celebration. One guy I went to high school with, he was up in Northern California, you know, in the river, on the beach, eating good food, having some drinks, you know. Wish I could. I can't. I can't even get a soda. I tried to get a soda yesterday. I went to 2 stores, mask only. And it was one place, it was South Salem freaking liquor store. All I wanted is like a root beer or something. Right? And I just see this freaking skinny bitch, freaking just this low vibrational female just walk right out with her stuff, no mask, walked right out into her Mercedes, got in and go, and then they're gonna tell me nope. I'm like, well, do you have any? No, it's against the law. It's that's the thing is you have the law. And then you have the people that will say it like, you have to follow it, and you have to follow it, and you have to follow it, and you have to follow it. But, oh, you're good looking, so you don't. And you're a dyke, so you got to put 2 masks on. You know, just because it's the heart space. It's the ego versus the spirit. It's nothing to fucking do with health. Healthy people don't get sick. And I don't give a shit who anybody said. You know, healthy people don't get sick. Well-balanced people don't even catch colds. So when you don't get a cold, why you gotta trip about a freaking Rona? It's the wave, man. Go look up the wave. Did they quit showing that in high school? I saw it in high school. 91, 90. Maybe it was Nova. 89, 88. Maybe it was, but it's the same principles. I mean, it's the same stuff. It's just like, it's people that don't follow rules are telling you to do shit that they don't do themselves, and that ain't cool with me. Any place, anytime, I don't do anything. I don't ask anybody else on a spiritual or a human level that I don't do myself. I meditate an hour. Sometimes I get to meditate an hour and a half a day, hour 20 minutes. Sometimes I don't get to meditate at all. Sometimes the energy's not right. The thing of it is I care enough to pay attention, and I care enough to try. And if I can lay here for a goddamn hour and not move and just think about, just let my spirit and mind disassociate from all things, then I can go out and I can deal with some bullshit out there that anybody's going to try and throw at me, because everybody likes to put me in my place. My place is everywhere, just like everybody else. So people that like to think that there's a thinking outside the box, I don't see your fucking box, okay? I don't see your box. It's too low vibrational for me. I'm seeing from a high dimension. I'm looking at higher geometrical shapes. Your little box is 3D. So you can sit there and stare at your little box and try and think of ways to think outside your little box, and I'll be over here thinking of better shit to do. Yeah. So, the day is just beginning. Did get to sleep in a little bit. That was kind of cool. It was a rough night, man. It's a lot of people, selfish people. You're just drunk in ego. They don't care. It's 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. They don't care. They don't. It doesn't care, because when you're void of spirit, that's how you act. You don't care that my dog is freaking over here, even on board with her. She was just. Finally, I gave her some CBD oil tincture, just straight CBD, and she finally freaking calmed down. Finally. And I used to go out and I used to yell and I used to scream, and I'd go fucking to their house and I'd fucking tell them how I'm a veteran of a Operation Iraqi bullshit, and all their fucking noise is just more shit to remind me of how I lost 1.5 inches of my height for fucking swinging dicks to fucking make more money, blowing up impoverished countries, and and then coming back and say, we're doing it for our own good. It's for our own security. It's for our own safety. It's like, oh, okay, they're bad. Because why? You don't know. You don't fucking live there. Tell them all. There's one guy watches my talks. He's from Iran. Flock of seagulls. Is it as terrible as all the, because I know what I was told. I know what all the stuff that was regurgitated to me. I never believed them anyway, see, because that's why when new people come to visit, that's why I'm always friendly to the newcomer, because they are always from new places, and they can tell me their actual accounts of how things really are. Not this opposed narrative bullshit that fucking people that wear freaking $1,000 suits just stand in front of screens and read. AI already exists. Artificial intelligence. It's an imposed narrative. It's lies. It's bullshit. It's when people have you dance little puppet dance just because they think you're cute in a little outfit and want to see you dance, shake your little tail. And then later, when it's dark and they get under their blankets, they can think about you shaking your little tail and dancing. And that in itself is an energy domination that is freaking twisted and gross. And people don't even think on that kind of level. You don't get to think about people. You don't get to use people. You don't get to imagine yourself with them. That's all freaking the stuff that it's like, oh, it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't hurt any. And this is all the stupid little stuff that builds up and it grows into the creepy gross stuff, the creepy creepertons. I'm gonna end up on this. Sometimes on my life soundtrack, my shuffle, someone will come up that's been on the plane, or that is just a juicy chrome freak or whatever. That just dipped so far in their ego that they lost their spirit, they lost their way. Like John Legend came on this morning, that All of Me song. I love that song, but you know what? He was on the plane. He's a creeperton. And none of these people, the Wanda Sykes, none of them are freaking like coming out and justifying themselves, and they fucking have every goddamn reason that they need to. If you got dirt and your name is related to dirt, you better step up right now and be like, you know what? I did this, and I don't have to act like this anymore. And whatever I need to do to make this right, I'd be glad to do that. I'm ready to see the accountability. I saw one dude that did that, Ryan Adams. I don't know the musician, but he did just in fact did that. So I'm like, I know people have it in it. I've done that. I've done it with so many people. It's uncomfortable. It is so fucking hard to make an amends for your terrible behavior. It's embarrassing. It's awkward. But you know what? It is so embarrassing and it is so awkward that the next time you want to go act that way to somebody, the point is that you remember that awkward and embarrassment, and then when whatever is about to come out your mouth, maybe you'll just swallow it instead. Then so you don't have to make that amends. But see, the thing of it is people just, these things made it possible for just people to say whatever they want to whoever they want. But the thing of it is there's universal law, there's respect, and there's ways that you talk about people, and there's ways that talk up to people, because we're all just shades of the same color spectrum. It only matters where your heart space vies from. A place of love or a place of greed. That is all. Ego. Spirit or ego. That's bottom line. Either you got it too much of one or the other, or maybe you got a nice combination of both. Maybe you don't. Who knows? Everybody has their own path. Well, so I try not to just appreciate the musicians and stuff for the time that you had them, you know, and don't buy their new shit. Don't co-sign their freaking currency. Their current situation. Their currency. Current. That spark. What drives a person. That is how, that's the truth. That's what, dude, if I got paid for all of the freaking pluses instead of the negatives that I got, you know, you want to use my data, you want to collect my data, you want to see what I got in my Pornhub search engine, all that stuff, you can have it. You can have it. Just pay me for my shit. Just pay me. Just every time I go to a site and you track my shit and you sell my data, I want a freaking $20 in PayPal. You can have all the data you want because I'm an open book. I don't need to go to the place and see the things to wonder, because osmosis is a real deal. Osmosis is in energy and data and transference is all very, very real. It's like when I go to a place to visit, I only need to be there for a second. I don't know why people blow so much money. It's all ego stuff. That's why. But they go to these places and do these things and, you know, have to, you know, make these shrines, and it's like, it's like, dude, all you got to make your print on the world, you just got to be there for a second. It just takes a snap, you know. Like when I look at a photo album, I flip through them. I don't have to go, ooh, you know, and I'm getting everything about it. I don't really read because it's just too much open for interpretation, and I'm thinking about too many things at one time anyway. So I have, maybe later in my life I'll become a reader again, but I used to be when I was younger, and then the stuff that people would give me to read, you know, my brother, richest man in Babylon, that's his heart space. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all that money stuff, all that made up stuff. Compounded interest. It's all bullshit. It's all made up. It's all control freaks putting pans on or cooking shit on a stove, and then just like they keep moving pots around the stove, but fucking nothing ever gets cooked. Nothing. They turn it up, turn it down. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's too much of this. It's too much of that. Oh, just add some more of this. And we ain't never fucking eaten. So I decided in a proverbial way to get up from the freaking table of society and just freaking, I ain't in the mood no more. And unless people come at me proper, you know, see, that's the thing, is I just want to make friends, but people don't come at you proper. They don't know. There's no etiquette. And it's funny because like my whole life I was like always searching. I'm always just researching, trying to learn, you know. And I've been to places where you had to use the right forks, and I don't fucking care anyway. You know, all that propriety, all that political correctness. Politics aren't real, so their correct ain't right. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.